Thank you for joining. I'm Sherry from Sunflowers and Petals. Today we kick off World Autism Month by discussing cycling and how it releases sensory stress for all types of riders. If you like what you hear, be sure to hit the like button below and also subscribe. I'm excited to have with me pro cyclist Sandy Pehl. Welcome, Sandy.
Hi, I'm Sandra Pehl, or Sandy.
Okay, we'll go Sandy. And at what age did you first learn to ride a bike and then really get into cycling?
I first learned how to ride a bike when I was 5, but I wasn't very good at it. I wasn't very coordinated, so I fell a lot. And so I kind of left it behind for many years, and I picked it up again when I was about 26
Wow.
and started getting really into it and started riding a lot. I still fell a lot. We call it crashing when you're older. And never looked back.
And if you don't mind me asking, what age are now? Have you
42.
started 40? Okay. And how did your love for cycling turn into a pro career?
I had some friends of mine actually who started telling me that I should consider racing. They believed in me more than I did and offered to go with me to some local races in St. Pete and sponsor me. And my very first race, I came in third place. My second race, I came in second. And my third race, I came in first.
That's awesome. Wow. I'd be
Yeah.
hooked too if I did that well.
Yeah. I kind of got addicted to racing after that.
Is it road racing?
Yeah.
Okay. So you were doing crits?
I started off in time trials and then I went into crits.
Okay.
I did a little bit of everything.
That's great. So you're on the autism spectrum, which means you can easily experience sensory overload and tend to dislike facial contact. How does cycling release stress and bring you calm?
It helps me with my anxiety. I had to get used to wearing a helmet and sunglasses. And it took some eye injuries to make me wear the sunglasses. Um, I still fight with the helmet. It's very uncomfortable, but it mostly helps with my anxiety. It eases that and controls the anxiety just by, I can't even really explain it, I don't think. It burns off that excess energy that anxiety causes and evens out my emotions.
Well, that's great. I think that does it for everybody that rides a bike. I call it my drug of choice. It just,
Definitely.
if I don't ride for a couple days, you don't want to be around me.
Yeah, no, it helps with depression, anxiety, anger, all of that.
Great. I agree. I think everybody finds that. So have you found a community of cyclists in Florida that are understanding and supportive?
They don't know about me, actually. They know about my kids. They don't know about me.
Okay.
A lot of masking is involved, especially when you're in racing. Racing is a tough community. You have to be tough to make it, and you have to be able to make your sponsors happy and your team happy. Your team directors have to be happy with you. So there's a lot of masking involved. Um, I was one of the more popular racers in the state, so I always kept my mask on if I
Okay.
was on the bike. They were very supportive of me being the mother of autistic children, and we would do some autism rides and they would all ride for my children.
So both your boys have autism also.
Yeah, all of them.
So this question is great for you to provide answers to. Do you have any advice for parents raising an autistic child or an adult watching this video who are somewhere on the spectrum and how it relates to cycling?
For the children who are on the spectrum or the parents on the spectrum?
Both, because you have the children on a spectrum, and then maybe there are adults that are on the spectrum too that haven't discovered cycling.
It's a good sport to get into. People seem to think that people on the spectrum can't do it, sports, because they're too uncoordinated. It does tend to come hand in hand, uncoordination and autism, but they can learn how to ride a bike. They can learn how to do other sports, and it can make them build confidence in themselves and make them feel better about themselves so that they don't experience depression, because depression is much higher for people on the spectrum.
Okay.
It can ward that off. It's a fact. Statistically, people on the spectrum experience depression much more than neurotypicals. So I always encourage people in general, but especially if you have children on the spectrum, and if you're on the spectrum yourself, to get into a sport or to get into fitness of some kind. You can do it. Just because you're on the spectrum doesn't mean that you can't do it, even if you are quote unquote clumsy. For people that are parents of autistic children, patience is your number one priority. They're not trying to do it to get you mad. Their behavior is a language that you need to learn. They're trying to communicate with their behavior.
Uh-huh.
And you need to learn their language. And then the other most important thing is to follow your gut.
Well, Sandy, thank you so much for being so open and honest today. You've provided a lot of information and interesting viewpoint. Interviewing you has been a great way to kick off World Autism Month, so I thank you very much.
Oh, no problem. Anytime. It's my pleasure.
So thanks for watching another Sunflowers and Petals video. If you enjoyed the video, click the like button and make sure to subscribe. Enjoy the ride.